G'day guys, I'm Average Dom Slim and I'm back on the Gold Coast. I spent 2 weeks in Africa. And then 10 days travelling around Tasmania in a camper van.
Chaque bonheur a sa peine, chaque blessure a sa plaie. De toute façon, je suis plus à ça près, donc je continuerai tant que ça me plaît. Si je me dépense autant que ça paye, si je me défonce autant que ça serve. Je suis en CC donc pas de sachet, mais si ça sort au moins j'essaie. Encore une mesure après l'autre, je vais poser 2 ou 3 accords. Essayer d'inventer la mélodie, laisse-moi mettre tout le monde d'accord. Vu que chaque journée je m'améliore, oui. Et puis tu sais de façon j'adore ça, donc c'est d'abord par égoïsme.
I've had a bloody beautiful few weeks. Now, somewhere along the line, I lost my beard and ended up with this funny moustache, and I would apologise for that, but I'm not sorry. On my last day in Tasmania, I ran a half marathon, and if you pay any attention to the lovely thumbnails that I create, then you'll know I did alright in the race. But before I go into the race and the debrief and my thoughts on it, I want to take you back, just a little.
As you might know, I'm racing in 2 days' time on Sunday for the first time in about 5 months. I'm absolutely fanging to race. Before I race, I just want to do a little look back at my half marathon training block. It's a bit of an informal, unofficial training block because I didn't designate a certain amount of weeks to this training block. But since January, I've been running more than I ever have. I've been running about 100 kilometers a week or more every week up until last week, essentially, when I started a 2-week taper. This is the fittest that I've ever felt in my life, but I've done a couple of things differently in this unofficial training block than I have previously. One, I'm running more than I ever have. That includes more kilometers, more times per week, and I'm double running twice a week. One interesting factor of this is that my long runs on Sundays, at the moment they're capped at 2 hours. Normally in a huge block, that long run will be a big component of my overall mileage, and that might go up to 30-35 kilometers. The most I've done is 26 kilometers in this training block. The other part is most Thursdays I do threshold work. I've never done threshold work previously before this year, and I've never done as much threshold work as I have. I do it quite consistently. I'm scheduled to do it almost every Thursday, but sometimes I miss it out and do hills or something. I find threshold sessions very hard still, but I think they've been very, very good for my overall fitness. So that's an interesting new component of this half marathon training block. We're going to see how all of that comes to fruition on Sunday. As I said, it's my first race in a very, very long time. I'm out of practice racing, but I'm very excited and I feel ready mentally and physically. One thing I want to mention is this is for me as much as it is for you guys. If you're racing and you've probably put in a really good training block, be proud of what you've done, what you've achieved in that training block to get to race day, because that in itself is a huge achievement. Sure, you want to do really well in the race, and I want to do really well on Sunday, of course. But just getting to the start line and everything that you've done and the fitness that you've achieved to get there is something worth celebrating. I'm really interested in what everybody else is doing and what everybody else is racing. So let me know in the comments below. If you're signed up to a race or you plan to do a race, what distance and what you're aiming for, where you're at with your training. If you do have a race coming up this weekend, good luck to you. And I hope you stick around to see how I go in my race on Sunday. I'll see you soon.
I'll stick around.
Thanks, baby.
Many of you will agree that when we train, all of us, we train hard. We run a lot and we get our legs used to training while fatigued. But when we race, we want to be a lot fresher. So what we do is peel back our training in both intensity and load in the week or weeks before a race. It gives our bodies time to recover, regenerate, and build up energy before race day. This is the taper. Now, very briefly, the key pillars of the taper include reducing training load and intensity, spending time off legs, eating well in general, carb loading, and stretching, mobility, yoga, and caring for your body before race day. Now, I did at least 2 of these. I reduced my training, couldn't really spend time off my legs because most of the activities we were doing were outdoors, and that was essentially hiking. Also, somehow, the adventurer's life is conducive to snacking a lot on the road and also indulging in beautiful foods and drinks, like wine. I did eat more pasta and rice and Weet-Bix before race day, but I didn't take the time to care for my body, and I was sleeping in a camper van, so it wasn't wonderful on my back. So it wasn't an ideal taper, but it was an enjoyable one. Here's the last few days of my taper.
Here he is. I found him in the forest.
3 days out from my half marathon, eating up my carbs like a good boy on coach's instructions. And my God, it smells delicious.
Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Bye.
Too nice to go before the race, and we're having a hodgepodge in the camper van. We've got eggy pasta, using all the leftover pasta and eggs, and then we had one mee goreng there. So noodles, pasta, we're getting our carbs in. Good. Hey! What do you think?
Looks so good. Are you ready?
Yes, ready, I'm done. Feed done, although it's a little bit small. I'm still a bit hungry. Now I'm about to go do my last run, a shakeout, 30 minutes. Just want to shake out the legs.
These
These
legs?
ones. Now you want to see some race day footage. Alright, this is the best I could do. Enjoy.
Good morning. It's all steam ahead in the camper van. It's 4 a.m, so 2 hours till kickoff. Let's get some food in our bellies, get changed, and let's get to the race. Oh, I'm so pumped. Did I forget to say? I'm so pumped. I'm so pumped. On our way, 5 a.m, on our way to the race.
Alright, how you feeling, baby? Nervous.
What do you have to say to apologise?
Sorry, because we're not running up Mount Wellington?
Sorry for being a panic merchant and telling me for weeks that we're running up Mount Wellington and we're actually just going up a little hill.
That is Mount Wellington. We'll be running up that in 2 days' time.
How will you show your apology?
Hug?
Okay.
Alright, we're gonna go to the start line, so it's time for bag drop. Got to put the phone away, and I'll see you after the race. Good luck, Ruddy Roo.
Good luck.
Hopefully the runners that are finished can build off the enthusiasm of those that are just about to start.
So proud of this person. So proud.
Wow.
Bit cold, eh? What are you, Hobart? Oh, I love it. Firstly, here's some facts about the race itself. City of Hobart, capital of Tasmania, this little island state off the mainland of Australia. I was running a half marathon, 21.1 kilometres. The conditions were close to perfect, 12 degrees Celsius on the morning, mostly overcast. There was slight drizzle in the second half of the race, and little to no wind. The course was difficult, 230 metres of elevation, constant up and down hills. 580 runners in the half marathon, plus another 230 in the marathon, and they started at the same time. Now, I absolutely loved this race. I thought the course was stunning. Despite the difficulty of the daddy hills, they actually lift you above the city with views of the sleepy buildings, the park and the harbour below. And then the course takes you along the suburban, windy streets of Sandy Bay. As for my race, it was pretty straightforward in the end. As soon as we set out, there was one elite athlete who just took off, breaking the sound barrier with his pace and disappeared into the darkness of the morning. Second and third quickly established themselves as the podium getters, and I realised quickly that they were a little out of my league, a league that I would like to break into soon. So I found myself in fourth, and it quite quickly became a comfortable fourth as I felt fifth and sixth drop away behind me in the darkness. Now, it fell pretty silent for long stretches of that race, and that was maybe one of the downsides. There was long periods of the course that were unmarked, no people to cheer us on, not even volunteers, and at times it was a little difficult mentally just to know, am I still on track? But it was very comforting to see first, second and third loop back at certain points on the track, and I would see them and know I was going the right way. I kept very strong up the hills. I think my consistent hill training continues to do me very, very good in those circumstances. And then I enjoyed letting my heart rate drop as I went down those hills. However, it's still tough on the quads. I felt very fit in the race. I believe the threshold work I've been doing is really paying off. In fact, my threshold pace is pretty much smack on 330s, and I think I averaged, power save, 29. Why? I had a battery. And I ran 331s average for this race, and that was with the hills. You can just turn off. I'll charge you. In the end, I was very happy to finish fourth. I wasn't close to third, and fifth wasn't close to me. You didn't turn off. Battery 5 days. What's going on? It's over a 90-second PB for me, and that's considering the wicked hills. It's given me great confidence going into my next half marathon, which I hope to be on a course with less elevation. On another note, I'm really proud of my little Roo. She struggled with an ankle injury all week, pushed through severe pain in the first 10 kilometers, and finished a really strong half marathon. I'm so proud of you. So what's next? The GCRF half marathon. That's on 28th of April. I'll have another couple of races in between that and the big one, Gold Coast Marathon in July, where I plan to run, in fact, I will run 239 at least. And a new GC 239 series on this channel is to start very shortly. So subscribe now and you can follow my whole journey. For the locals, I hope to see you at GCRF in 3 weeks' time. And for the non-locals, let me know what races you're doing in the comments below and consider doing the GC Marathon in July. It's a fantastic race. In the meantime, I'm Average Dom Slim, and I'll see you next week. Hi Bright Holly, well done on your first park run. Keep it up. Bright Holly did not personally request or pay for this shout out, authorised by Average Dom Slim.
Lego.